To celebrate the 30th anniversary edition of Catan, I wanted to pay homage to this iconic red box that changed the board gaming landscape forever. Now, over that 30 years, there has been so many offshoots, scenarios, expansions in this Catan universe, and there's probably heaps you've never even heard of. In this video, I really want to look at what were the greatest 10 experiences in the Catan universe, and there were a lot to choose from. But we might even have a chat about the ones that unfortunately were pretty big misses. Klaus Teuber, by 1995, had already won 3 Spiel des Jahres. Now that's the German Game of the Year award. So this guy knew how to be a dental technician, but he also knew about board games. Look, he loved teeth. Don't get me wrong, loved a good tooth, loved getting in there, making sure they were clean, but he really did love board games. And by 1995, he'd created this wonderful box. Well, not this box, it was another one, and it also had a German name. But anyway, it's Catan, basically. And he created Catan in 95, and it won him another Spiel des Jahres. By that stage, just racking up the awards, old Klausy boy. Let's start with the Frenemies expansion. Now, this is pretty much universally the most disliked Catan game ever. It's an expansion where you get rewarded for being nice, like giving away your resources and things like that. It's pretty much the equivalent of playing chess and just going, hey, how about before we start, how about you just take my queen because I'm a nice guy, and yeah, that wasn't fun. Next up, we have Catan the dice game. We love those hexagonal tiles. We love going out and collecting resource cards, and we love building out our network. We also do like rolling dice, but we don't like rolling dice in this game because it's pretty much Catan without all those cool things and also without the fun. So there we go, Catan dice game. It's pretty much Yahtzee with a Catan sticker. Don't get it. Anyway, so they've got that. Catan Hawaii. Ooh, scenarios. This game, actually good. So why is it on this list? Well, let me show you. Let me open up. It's very beautiful inside. I love it. Ooh, what is this? We have, a paper map there of Hawaii. The game itself is super fun. You're going out fishing in the islands of Hawaii. But a paper map just felt such a stark contrast to the quality we were used to in playing Catan. It just felt like a real miss and a real weird decision choice, if you ask me. Now, besides that, we also now have Catan the Exit game just being announced. Now, while Catan is a competitive game, well, Exit is all about working together cooperatively to solve riddles and puzzles. How's that going to work in the Catan universe? I'm a bit concerned it's just going to be having that Catan flavor dribbled over the top, and it's not going to be a great Exit experience. Well, hopefully I am wrong. So they're all the misses. But boy, oh boy, over those 30 years, there's been some great hits. So let's go rank my top 10 Catan experiences. Welcome to Seafarers, the first big box expansion to the original Catan. Now, what's something we always say about Catan? We always say it's too small. Look, my missus says that all the time, and she's obviously referring to the island of Catan there. So how do we make it bigger? Well, we add water. And what do we do when we add more water? We add more islands. And that's what Seafarers is doing. It's expanding that original island and giving you more awesome places to go exploring. Because we now have ships, and those ships will go exploring those little islands. There's also going to be Goldfield hexes, which is new to Seafarers. And there's also a pirate ship. Johnny Depp has told me that pirates are awesome. So I agree with him, and I think Seafarers is a great expansion to add. Now you're going to notice I have 2 versions. This is the original Seafarers, and this is the new 30th anniversary Seafarers. Much better artwork. Anyway, there you go, Seafarers. It's the Gold Rush era, and we are talking about some Catan histories here. Settlers of America Trails to Rails. We're in the 19th century. It's time to get those bustling wagons ready, fill them up with resources and people, and move them across good old-fashioned America. Oof. Is there anything more patriotic than playing this game? Actually, there probably is. But anyway, look, this is going to be a longer version of Catan. Now, When I'm talking longer, I'm talking 2 hour plus game of Catan. It's pretty long, so be prepared. But if you love that more logistics, so that getting away from those static settlements to more of that dynamic logistics and moving resources around, that's train games for you. People love that stuff, and a lot of people love this game, Settlers of America. Do you love space games? Well, Catan has your back with Catan Starfarers, where we're going into outer space. Except Starfarers, kind of hard to get. Hence why I have Starfarers Duel, which is Starfarers, but for 2 players. Look, we are going out. We've gone through a wormhole. We've come through the other side. We're kind of lost. Our beautiful little rocket ship here doesn't know what to do, but we found some lovely civilizations to go trade with and just wonderful, fun Catan stuff. Now, the beautiful thing about this is we still have some dice rolling, which is great, but they're going to do 2 things. One, they're going to do resources, which similar to how we know Catan, but it's also going to give us our flight speed. And our flight speed means we can go explore more sectors in space, which basically means we can look at more cards, which is going to give us even cooler cards. Like there's things like these pirates we get to take on. We can get rocket boosters and guns that go pow, 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 and we just love a good rocket ship in Catan. Not to be confused with rocket sheep. Very different to rocket ships, just so you know. Catan the card game was going to be on my biggest misses section, but I wanted to save it for here. Now it's not on this top 10, but what it's done is that game inspired Rivals for Catan, the true 2-player version game of Catan. Now, the original card game was just not well received at all. Yet Rivals went and changed it. Now it's 2010, I think 15 years after the original, Klausy Boy said, you know what? Let's fix this 2-player schmozzle we have and let's bring out some Rivals. It's a card game, it's for 2 players, people love it, so it's on this list. There we go, Rivals for Catan. Now, have you ever wondered what sport they like to play on the island of Catan? Well, they like to play a bit of soccer or football, depending on what part of the world you're from. The soccer fever scenario is a lot of fun, and it just mixes up your gameplay when you're playing Catan because it's easy to blend in. Now you're going to get some of these soccer pitch hexes, and they're going to go in. There's going to be 2 of them mixed in amongst the island there, and every time you build a city or a settlement next to one of those hexes, then you're going to be able to put a shot token on that field. And when you get to play your game, look, there's a whole little schedule there. When you get to play your game against other people, well, you get to flick the soccer ball and try and score goals. And it's actually going to be a whole soccer tournament that goes on while you're playing the game of Catan. It's wild fun. Number 5, and we have Catan Junior. Now, I don't own this game anymore, but that's because my kids have grown up. Now, this game was played religiously from my daughter's age from about 6 through to about 9. We loved it, the pirate theme, and it was just a fun adaptation of Catan where we still to this day joke about pulling a Coco. Look, if you've never played Catan Junior, you will know what a Coco is. It's just a great kids game, and it's a great introduction for children to game mechanisms that we love in all of our other games. And the fact that adults can enjoy it with the kids and still get a lot of satisfaction out of it, it's a brilliant design. Catan Junior, check it out if you've got some younger kids. Catan New Energies takes the original Catan and just amplifies it. Now what we have now is we've moved into the new age. Did you know the original Catan was based on his love of Vikings? And so it's sort of inspired by that for some reason. But we are now in the 21st century and well, we have power plants and pollution and things like that that we are going to now take into consideration. So this really is standard Catan, and in a way you could take out all of the power plants and play the original Catan if you wanted to. But there's a bit more in this game if you want the extra stuff. We have now got to balance our local footprint. We've got to think about when we're building fossil fuel power plants or we're building renewable energy power plants. One, could have a bit more of an advantage than the other, but one's going to be bad for the pollution and for the environment. And, that's pretty much what we're considering in this game. There's going to be warehouses, electricity. There's going to be new Science cards, that's pretty cool. There's a lot of really nice things that just add to the original game. There's now going to be events. There's a whole bunch of awesome stuff. Think about it as like a whole bunch of extra modules to the original game and just now set in the modern era. So there we go, Catan New Energies. If you've played Catan hundreds of times and you're thinking, well, it's getting a little bit stale. Well, you have one expansion that you must add to your collection, and it's Cities and Knights. Now this game is going to help reduce the luck factor and add a bit more strategy to the original game. Let me do a bit of reading here. We have elevate your Catan experience with valiant knights, vibrant metropolises, and new commodities to trade. But beware of the pesky barbarians. You may need to turn to unlikely allies. Well, just shut up, take my money now. This is the best expansion. You need this Cities and Knights. You're gonna need to get rid of those pesky barbarians. They're really just a pain in the butt, so work together. Get rid of them. Cities and Knights. Definitely the one expansion. If nothing else, this is the one. And the original Catan, it's going to give you hours and hours of fun gameplay. If you're a true Eurogamer connoisseur, then I think you're going to appreciate Dawn of Humankind more than any other Catan game. You're going to appreciate that there's a lot more design elements in here, and it makes it more of a gamer's game. Now, we are now going a big board here, and we're going to be exploring where millennia ago, where Homo sapiens going out from Africa, we're going to go out explore Europe, Asia, America, and then finally we're going to hopefully get to Australia because we have some fully sick people down there, and it's just one of the best games in this franchise. Now, there's going to be so much more in here. We're going to have progress tracks that we're going to go up. We're obviously going to have new resources because we're back in the day. We also have the Neanderthal, saber-toothed tiger. So we now have two sort of robbers, depending on where you are in the world, because the world is so big. There's just a lot of great things. There's exploration tokens. I love this game, and the more I thought about this, it just had to come in at number 2. It's that good. In fact, it should be number 1. Number one's a joke. This is my favorite. Well, God, I shouldn't have said that. Now, number 1, no one's going to watch number 1. Weird. Why did I say that? Wait, what? The original? Well, just calm your farm before you get all irate in the old panties there. There's a reason this is number 1. Now, is it my most favorite Catan game? No. I like Dawn of Humankind and I like New Energies both better. Would I play this without expansions? Probably not unless I'm playing with brand new players. So why is it my number 1? Well, I'm a bit of a nostalgia nerd. Catan and Ticket the Ride were the 2 games that brought me into the board gaming hobby. Every single game around this room was because these games made me fall in love. Now, I guess over the years my tastes have changed. I guess I've matured and I'm now maybe a bit more particular with what I like playing. So would I play the original that often? Not really, but in saying that, I played it about 4 weeks ago, so I still pull it out and it's still fun. But the fact that this game changed my life and changed my idea of what board gaming is pretty special. And I think for that fact alone, it deserves the number 1 spot. So there we go. That is my list, my top 10. Also a few games that were a little bit of a miss there, but look, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Anyway, I'm Hogs. This is Catan. This is the Bangers Project. Laters.